Happy holidays! It is a week before Christmas and I have a lot of presents to wrap, and I've had some friends reach out to me and tell me that it's hard to wrap presents, and it's something that I feel like I've always easily done, and I always thought that my brother Richie was just being lazy because he always asked me to wrap his presents every year. But apparently it's kind of challenging for people. It's something I really like to do, so today I'm going to show you how to do a simple wrap. First, I'm going to start with this book. I'm going to wrap it with this purple wrapping paper. It might not seem very holiday-ish, but our Christmas tree is actually pretty purple this year, and it matches the gift, which is something that I like to do. It makes it a little more thoughtful. I'm also gonna wrap this shoebox because these are two simple shapes that can teach you just a nice, neat, basic wrap. And I'm gonna wrap that with this little raccoon Christmas paper because this box is for my mom, and I'm choosing this wrapping paper because it's fun and it's funny and it's cute and it matches my mom's personality. And also, if I wrap it with this, she's gonna ask me why did I pay so much for wrapping paper? So you gotta kind of go with the personality of whoever the gift is for. That's step one. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this box. Obviously what you'll need is some Scotch tape and a pair of good scissors. We're gonna unravel the gift wrap and we're gonna take the box. And it's just like a card. When you put the card in the envelope, you're thinking about how that person is going to open the card. You want the front face of the card to be what they see when they slide it out. Now, people don't open presents one exact way, but it's the thought that counts. So we are going to turn this over to make sure that it is face down. You want to use as little paper as possible. So if you look at this definitely will have enough coming up on its sides, and I could cut it probably right here. I think this going this way versus this way will save us a lot of paper. So I'm gonna give myself a little room just to be safe, and I'm going to cut across. Now if I did it this way, it would have been like way too long on the sides, so I would have taken so much more paper than I actually needed. That's how we know this is the best choice. All we really need is for the paper to come in the center, and then this would come over into the center. So we have a lot more paper than we actually need. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just cut a little off right here, and I'll show you what you can do with the paper. Now, voila. You're gonna come to the center of it, and you're gonna bring the paper to the middle, and you can use a little piece of tape and just tape it down so it stays put. You want to make sure that the paper is flat and tight, so I'm just pushing the box a little to make sure that I've pulled this really taut. Fold it over. Now here it's up to you about the tape. If you don't care, this is the bottom of the present, you can just tape it over here. But if you are wrapping something and it needs to be perfect, what you can do is you take a piece of tape and then you just fold it over onto each other and make a little tape sandwich. Now you have your own double-sided tape. Put it on the inside and fold it down. Now I'm going to do both sides of this, double-sided as well, just for you. Not that my mom would care. Okay, and I'm putting this on the bottom of that. Pull this really tight. Let's just finish this side first. So we know that we've got it all flat and square and neat. This is the part that I feel like maybe people struggle with. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pull this flat down right here, okay? And when you pull this down and you flatten it like that, what you could do is just take a little tape. These are just to keep the markings there, to keep the paper put where you pulled it. Okay, so you see how this folds like this? You're just gonna take this side and you're going to straighten it the way that it creases, okay? And you're gonna do the same thing over here. You just straighten it out the way that it's naturally wanting you to. Just flatten that crease, okay? Now you can tuck it in like this and flatten that. So now this is flat, the paper is flat up against it, and this is flat, okay? Let's do the same thing on this side. We just pull it in, put it flat here, don't worry about this part, just make it flat. Now you can flatten this part. It's like making a paper airplane, okay? Now just take this piece and voila. So I'll be able to better show you on the other side. Okay. Just gonna show you that real quick. So remember, we are just going to flatten this down. Okay? You can take a little piece of tape to keep these two folds together. But just flatten it down. Step one, flatten it. Okay? Now, step two is this part is coming flat. You're just going to make the crease wherever it's actually creasing. Okay? This part is folded down. You're just going to pull that crease. I crease that, and now I can crease this. I'm putting this flat on the box. And now this is going to give me this crease. Okay, let's go ahead. We can just tape it so you know it's going to stay nice and flat. Down low. And let's do the same thing over here. So we push this paper down flat, and we're just making that crease. Okay. Now from here, you're just going to flatten this down. And you see how it's too long right here? We don't want to put it up here. What we want to do is just fold it. And you can fold it to where this comes at an angle. And you can make it really nice. Ta-da. And normally I would just go straight across there, but because I'm being fancy for you, I'm just gonna put this right there. I hope that that is, that's not flat enough, y'all. I'm gonna have to I just want it to be tight like this. I know she's not going to mind, so I'm going to come right here with it. Voila. Look at my pretty box. Let it snow. It's upright. This, you can either do a pointy side, or you could fold it over, do that. And on the back, see, it's nice and even. Ta-da! We could do something fun with a bow. Either I can make a name tag out of the extra paper, or I could just cut this raccoon out and make a fold And then I could cut it here if I wanted to, or maybe cut them out. Yeah. And then I could write to Mom from Juanita, and just double side it here. Now you've saved money on those silly little name tags too. Ta-da! So I can write in it, and that can be a little name tag. This is construction paper that I used on a different project, and see, it's already curly and fun. I put this underneath on the bottom, our ugly side, and I can just make a little bow right here. Pull that paper really flat, and if you want, you can make another knot. I'm just gonna leave it like this because I'm just gonna put a piece of tape here to pin it down flat. And now I'm gonna take my name tag and I'm going to post it right there. And now we have a pretty little ribbon. And now it's such a cute little gift wrap. And you used your paper. Now you can use the actual wrapping paper to make ribbons, but let me just show you something, because you have to be way more careful because the paper is so thin. So cut you like a little strand, okay? And when you go to make the ribbon, be very, very, very careful because the paper could rip because it's so thin. You just have to lightly brush it. And the more you do this, the more it will curl. Yeah, super cute. I could add this and make it his little tail. How about we tuck this under? Maybe it should go right here. Ta-da! Cute! That's for Elma. All right, let's wrap this book. It's such a pretty book. Super excited because interior design deserves a fancy wrapping paper, and this just happens to go so perfect with it. It'll feel like it's a part of the actual gift. And this is really high quality wrapping paper that's thicker than most, so it's easy to make ribbons out of. So we're gonna make some fun bows. You see how this is grid paper, so you can cut very straight. I love that. Now books can be a little trickier than you would imagine just because the sides are so small and narrow. 2 and 2. Cut it straight across. I'm gonna line this book up. You can get a close-up of that, or if you see that, that's awesome. Well, then that's 4 there to come in the center. I'm just gonna come out to 5 just to play it safe. So I'm just gonna pull this, make sure it's tight. I think the main thing that you wanna always think about to make it nice and neat is getting your paper really flat, making sure it's all pulled really tightly. Now for this one, since the wrapping is so pretty, we're obviously going to make sure that we have nice, flat, double-sided tape rolls, tape sandwiches, if you will, because we don't want the tape to be seen here. We want this to be a very, very elegant, beautiful package. Okay, so come here, make sure it's tight. Start with this middle one. Make sure it's tight. Bingo. So we're gonna flatten this out. Remember that we just want this to be flat. You see where the papers meet each other? Let's just put a tiny little tape together just to keep them stuck together. Okay. This is flat. Now I'm going to pull this side in and tighten this fold. Make that a little pleat, a crease. Push it flat up against the present, that wall. You got a good shot of that?
Yep.
And now flatten that out like an airplane. Awesome. Do the same thing. Let's go across this one. We're keeping this flat, we're keeping this flat. Flatten it, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it. Make that crease. Get it flat up against that, the wall of your present. And then make a pleat. Now this, see how we could do this, and that's totally fine. Nobody's gonna care, but just for the sake of doing this very precisely, I am going to fold this in half. Just like so, okay? And that way it will be tucked under here. But in order to do this, remember this paper is thicker and we don't want any tape being shown. I'm going to make a lot of tape, particularly here, and flatten it out. Make sure your tape is even flat. Okay, that should do it. And we are going to start from the bottom and press up. Look how nice and neat that is. Sweet, let's do the other side. Same principles here. We start by we flatten it up against the sides of the box or the gift, whatever it may be. Okay. Step one. Then we make that crease. We pull it in. It will automatically make the crease for you. Make sure that's flat up against the side. Flatten that out. And then once all of that is really flat, then you can make your paper plane. Wing. Okay. Same thing goes here. I'm gonna add, see if I don't add, it makes it easier to fold and keep together. You add that tape. Okay. Stay along the walls of it, the sides of it. Push this flat up against it. Make a really tight crease. Flatten that out, make your wing. Fold this in once. Trying to make a straight line so that this part will be a straight line as well. Flatten that down. Tape sandwich. Let's just make sure it's gonna fit perfectly nice. Remember, make sure your tape sandwiches are, I'm calling this a tape sandwich, and really it's not a tape sandwich, it's kind of like a tape fold over. An open-faced sandwich, I guess. Okay, start from the bottom here to make sure it's flat and push up. Yay! Yeah. In a perfect world, I think I would have pulled this even tighter. But you can go through and just make sure that you have tight edges. Okay, the back of it looks nice and neat too. It's not, I wish I would have pulled it tighter down along this way. If you're not doing the tape foldovers, then obviously you can get the paper flatter, but it looks so much nicer when you can't see any tape at all. All right, now we have all this extra. So now it's cut in a nice square, so you can see you can use this to wrap another gift if you like something smaller or something the same size. But if it was cut where it was, you know, like a Tetris shape, it's gonna be hard to use. But in our case, I wanna make like a really pretty ribbon, a bow, and I wanna kind of make it big and flamboyant and kind of crazy. So always start big, because you can always cut more. It's like cutting your hair, you know what I mean? Like if you cut too much, that's it, that's a wrap, pun intended. But you can always cut a little bit, and then cut a little more, cut a little more. Now what's really good is if you had double-sided wrapping, like if on the inside this wasn't white, you know? That would be really ideal for what I'm about to play with, but I'm gonna try to make those as even as possible and to the same length as possible. Okay, we're leaving a little room in the center here, okay? Do the same thing on this side. This is a time saver for ribbons. Buy you a pair of these. That would have taken 5 seconds to show you how to make that ribbon. Now, what we can do is just kind of fold here. Okay. And bring this down, we're gonna fold here. Okay. Now remember our ribbon curls, right? This is the scary part because we're using wrapping paper, and as thick and high quality as this one is, it's still really thin. So just be very careful. So as you can see, all I'm doing is I take the paper, I place it on top of the blade, hold it lightly with my thumb, and just brush it with the blade. Be gentle, don't rip it. And try again. Cameraman's tummy is growling. I think all this Christmas present wrapping is making him hungry. Okay. To the other side. If you like this kind of like pom-pom look, you don't have to curl them, but I think it's fun like that. Alright, I got through it without, this one's a little dead one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at the pretty peacock. So I'm thinking that looks really pretty. We could do that. Twisting it, putting it here, putting it flat. There's so many different things you could do. I mean, really, it's just, you know, use your creativity and your taste for what you like, what you think is super fun. People will always comment if they can tell that you took the extra effort to wrap a present with love. I can squeeze it all together. Yeah, like that. Now take this piece and fold it. Okay. Now let's tape this part down. At the bottom. See if this will hold. Bam. Press it down, give it some pressure. Now open it up. So, we don't want, and you can really play with this and make sure that, you know, the white's not showing. If you want to curl some up a little more, you can do that. But open it up, flare it out the way you want it to look. I want this to stay popping. I think that looks really pretty. This one is bothering me. Be very careful. What do you think? You like it? And if you want, we could always put a little name tag right here. And the cool thing about doing whatever you want, you know, adding your little personal flair to presents, is that you don't need name tags because you're gonna remember. This purple, I wrapped this gift specifically to match the present inside, and I can take one look at this and just know like what the present is and who it's for. Super cute. And then look at it from the side. It's kind of probably my favorite part. Yeah. Good job. Ta-da! It's a triple layer cake. So, bonus tip, these ribbons, you know, as cute as they are, they don't stack well, like if you have to travel and you're bringing a bunch of gifts. So I got these little stickers at a garage sale, and bam, cute. I hope that this helped you in some way. Thank you so much for watching, and happy holidays.